Welcome to Rebuild Life Capital. Thank you for joining. This is our first live, and I'm excited. And then thank you for joining. Hopefully, this will be useful and educating to those who join. Please remember to let us know where you're from and why you're here and why you're excited to join our first live. So today we're gonna dive into 3 topics. OPM, which is other people's money, the strategy to use OPM, the cash flow forecast, and the 10 hours how to build generational wealth. So yeah, if you have any question, please let us know. By the meantime, we're waiting people to join. While we're waiting people, we give you about 5 minutes to join so we can start.
We are trained to not ask for money. Anybody can be an investor, and also anybody can be a private lender. Everybody thinks you have to have a crazy money. That is a tool, not your enemy. Which again, I want people to understand that banks are also OPM, because they use your money to go lend to someone else. So once you switch that mindset, because a lot of people, especially older generation and our generation, will teach, but all the rich people get rich by using it.
Drosel Benazet
is the award-winning capital strategist, franchise analyst, investor, and founder of Budget Mastermind,
who came from the UK to the United States with a mission to reduce poverty by creating jobs.
After winning a major legal case against a fraudulent franchise system, her journey now fuels a powerful mission to teach real financial education.
Especially how to use other people's money to help entrepreneurs rebuild, rise, and reclaim their financial destiny.
You have to build the business credit. That it helps, because the business credit does not show on the personal credit. Okay, this is get a 500,000 in the business credit.
So you did mention about your two surgeries. What was it about?
Moved to the States from the UK to make millions like everybody else, living the American dream. I went to hospital thinking I had just appendicitis. I just pain from nowhere. Then the doctor say, no, you have some tumor, we have to operate ASAP, otherwise you may not make it. So my life collapses at the time. I looked at my bank account and all the money was gone. So
where was it?
the company can't invest pretty much the money. Now I was told to go pick up my stuff like a thief. Case it took 2 years. And I paid almost more 200,000 with a lawyer. So I started using other people's money to bounce back. You can start up a business, but it's not easy to do a startup. I advise it's better to go look existing businesses. There is plenty. Once you start looking, you'll be surprised.
Can everybody do this?
It's a money game. That's the rich people game. First step is to switch that debt is not my enemy. Debt is a tool to help me build wealth. So as soon as you decide that, you have shifted that mind. Secondly is to know what is a good debt and a bad debt. You buy the property, you need to make sure there is the equity in the house. That's a good debt. Equity means when you buy house, the value increase. So if the value increase, you bought it 200 in 1 year, or the house was sold next door. That's very important to know. The house was sold next door, it was a 300 or 350 or 400. That's a deal. But if the house was sold next door, it is 250, it's not a deal. Unless you want to hold that property for 10 years. But if it's 200, 250 or 180 or lower, that means it's going to take you a while to leverage the equity.
Financial trauma. What does it take to break this cycle in life?
First step is...
Hey, welcome again. Thank you for those who joined already. I'm sure some people will start joining. We keep joining, but we wanted to start because we want to make sure that we respect people's time, especially over the weekend. So today we're gonna touch base on, as I mentioned, on 3 topics, which is about OPM, other people's money, and about cash flow forecast, and 10 hours of how to build generational wealth. So let's dive in. So OPM, most of people knows, but it is not a common, it's not a common concept. But I am passionate about sharing about it because if some of you knows my story, it helped me to rebuild. That's why this group is called Rebuild Life Capital. So this is a group where we're going to help each other rebuild, and we're going to help each other with the capital, and we're going to help each other thrive. So OPM, the OPM, it means other people's money. So let's dive into OPM and the OPM strategy and how to scale. So we're going to start talking about OPM now. What is OPM? OPM again, it means other people's money. It's how to leverage. Can be anything. So, but before we start diving into OPM, I just want to make sure before I remember that please scan the code so our customer care can share the link in the chat and share more details you may need, and then also in the QR. And also let us know, please, if you a business owner, a real estate investor, or just a beginner, so that will help us to know how we can help you. So hey, let's go ahead and then OPM, it means it's as simple as it sounds. It means other people's money. Okay, so it's capital borrowed and raised from external sources. It could be from private lender, from investors, or from friends, or even the bank. So as we mentioned, OPM, even the bank use the OPM. That's the 1% rules. To get rich is hard to get rich alone. So we're gonna have to figure, that's why we create a community, but ethical community that are using OPM to see how we can all help each other and thrive together using OPM. So it's usually, as I mentioned, is either private lender, business credit as well. There's a crowdfunding as well. There's a partnership. There is a venture capital. So all that are other people's money. So you can use OPM. The mindset, you can use OPM in either starting your business, real estate, or a project, because there's other projects you can raise, even the NGOs, all of that using OPM. The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I think the majority of 99% of people are focusing on just the bank, or focusing on, if you don't have money, you spend so many years saving. So, but I want people to start having the mentality of using other people's money and do not feel guilty, but ethically. And then make sure you give the return. Because sometimes if you go to wait at the bank until you save, that may affect your project, or you may never get even started. So the goal here in this community is to use OPM, but make sure it's ethically, and then we will be also, the goal in our community will also be vetting. Make sure that everybody, if it's the lender, the private lender, or the borrowers, everybody's taken care of ethically. So we're going to talk a little bit about overcoming the mindset and the barriers of OPM. So the most of the barriers is shift the scarcity mentality, because we have the mindset we have is that OPM, oh my God, I don't want to have somebody else's money. I don't want to do this. Or I do not want to have many, I don't want to have worried about paying back. But if you have a proper project that will pay you, will give you a good return, you can use OPM. So the first is the scarcity mentality. Shift the mentality and then have the abundance mentality. Because we cannot be successful and thrive without having abundance, rather than being stuck on the mindset of saving every penny you have. Okay. Secondly, another overcoming barrier of minds of OPM is build credibility, track record, clear proposal, and transparency numbers. So that means you have to show the stats, the track record, And even if you don't have a track record, start building credibility in your actions, because the behavior and the action speaks. Show that you're ready to hustle. And then also track record and show a clear deals or a proposal. So, and then tell me in the chat, if you have any question, please tell me in the chat. Keep them coming, because we want to be able to help you during this. This is why we have a live session, so you can ask as much as questions you want. So the OPM strategy, the approach. So there is the real estate, as we talked about. And there is a private capital, which can help speed and flexibility. And there is also the strategy partnership, trade skills, operation, deals, and the capital. And there is a credit-based leverage using business credit, and there's institutional debt and the cheapest capital. So I'm gonna touch a little bit on that, but because we wanna be respectful of your time, so I'll be quick. Private capital, speed, and flexibility. Private capital, it means you're using PML, other people's money. PML means private lenders. We do have some in our communities as well, are looking to get their money work for them. So we're here to also protect their money. So if you join this community, make sure that if you approach somebody, we're going to be vetting you. We're going to be making sure that you're able to pay back, because we want to also, these are the people who want to help you achieve your goal. So make sure that you do the work and you return. So that's why we have that's the private capital. So we're gonna be touching the real estate leverage. Real estate leverage, which is, I get a lot of questions about it. So I'm gonna try to be quicker, but I will try to touch base. So investing in real estate, as we know, the statistics shows that it helps to grow quickly, to grow your wealth quickly. But you cannot grow your wealth quickly using your savings on real estate. Let's just make that clear. And please get that in your head, that no one gets rich on real estate anymore using savings, especially with right now with inflation, everything. So in the real estate, there is a method. There's a fix and flip, buy and hold, or house hackers. It's a lot. But this is introduction, but we can go deeper and deeper when it comes to because we're gonna have a little more live. So the first leverage is the fix and flip. The fix and flip, you just buy a house, you fix it, and you sell it. That does not require business credit or personal credit. A lot of people do not know that. You can easily get a private lender or a fund to invest in you. And it's legit. Everything goes through the title in the US or through the notaries in the different countries. And once you fix the house, you put on the market. Once you put on the market, you sell it and you get your money back. So once you get your money back, but the bank, of course, once you sell it, you pay the lender first, who can be private lender, fund, or investors. Then you take the profit or whatever money you put it in. But you have to make sure it is a deal. The comparable, it is a key in everything. So you have to make sure the house nearby, not just because it's a cheap house, it's about the comparable, the house nearby. Not because some people think, oh, it's only 90,000, it's only 50,000, but it may not be a deal. Adoption of building generation wealth using OPM in real estate is BAR. That's a very good method if you know how the strategy works. Because some people ended up losing money and thinking they know how the strategy work. I have done a lot of those borrows, and I have so far, even last year, I flipped more than 27 houses. So clearly, I know what I'm talking about. And remember to join our community to have access to all the resources. It's because we gotta be sharing all the resources in our community. So what is BAR method? BAR means buy, rehab or renovate, refinance, rent, and repeat. When it comes to you buy a house, but you buy using OPM, other people's money, not a bank, either a fund or a private lender or investor. As I said, once now we talk about, you realize there is a lot of options there. And also if you join our community, we can help you connect with those people. But you buy it. But you have to make sure the deal makes sense. If you, before anything, make sure the comparable makes sense. And the comparable, I know some people have some strategy or how they calculate the comps. I make it simple. You just have to look at houses where 2 or 3 houses where sold the next door, or is it this house in 1 year it will grow in equity? That is what's gonna give you a reason to buy it. Because otherwise, just because it's cheap, we have had so many, because I mentor a lot of people come to me, so, the house is 60. I'm like, yeah, it's 60, but the house was sold, the next door is only 50. That means you're gonna lose money. So you can buy 400,000 and make more money than somebody who buys 60, because it depends on the house was sold in the neighborhood. So you buy it, but you make sure the deal makes sense. The house neighborhood in the neighborhood, or whoever who's helping you to compare, to do a comparable. Again, we can share those resources in our community. After you fix it, which is rehab or renovation to those in the UK or in the other part of the world, you renovate it. And then after you renovate it, you call the bank. The bank knows all of those. That's why sometimes I'm here to bring those knowledge to the normal people, because a lot of people don't know. They think this is just for the rich people, but anybody can do it. So you call the bank. This is legit. A fund is legit. A real estate fund is legit. So, or a private lender, of course, it has, or an investor. So you call the bank. After you call the bank, you say, hey, my house, I want to refinance. So the bank is gonna come, look the value of the house. This is when the comparable comes in place. This is when it is very important to have the comparable. So you buy the house 350,000. Don't quote me on numbers. This is just like general ideas to give you an idea. 50,000 or 400. But the house was sold next to, it's 800 because the house was fixed. So you make sure your house, if it was 50,000 and the house was sold is 200, you fix it and you get it to that level. So then the bank will come, it will give you the value. They will send what they call appraiser or a building surveyor in a different countries, in the other part of the countries. So I'm trying, because I lived in both worlds, I'm trying to share on in our community, because we have people all over the world, so they can understand the terminology. In the US is appraisal, but in the other part of the world is in a building surveyor. The bank is gonna give it that value based on the new house and based on how much money you put it in. And remember, the OPM, you have not used your money. Sometimes some of the fund at the first time, they ask you to put your skin in the game, which can be 10% or 15%, because that shows like you're ready to hustle. But at the end of the day, you didn't use your money. So if you buy the house, you fix it, you call the bank come give you the value, and the house is so far, maybe you buy 60 and you put another 60, 120, the bank give you value to 250. You pay you 60 back, and with the interest, of course, because other people's money, they also need their interest, because otherwise you can't do the deal. And this is the abundance mindset I need people to understand. You cannot make that deal if people did not give you their money. So please respect them, give them their return. Their return is usually 12% or 10%. Some of them gets to 14%. If depends on the money you're going to make in the deal. But give them the return. And then after you give them the return, you have your profit. That's why the comparable is a key. And you take that profit. Mainly that profit is more than the money you put it in. Because if you put in the 15,000, let's say, or 20,000, and you make a profit of 400,000, you take that, you go buy another house. But the third R, it means you rent it. So you rent it. You own the asset. Secondly, you did not put too much of your money because you have managed to do what we call cash out refinance. And then you're renting it. So the tenant is paying the mortgage for you. And you repeat, which is the fourth R. You take that money, you go build, and you go buy another house. That's what we call how you build generation wealth in the real estate. This is why many people get stuck, especially older generation. They save to buy a house. You can never achieve that. You can never achieve that buy 10 houses just using your own savings. Yes, if you come from a loaded family, but this is how you build the generation wealth. We're using OPM. Otherwise, you will live all the rest of your life trying to save. And then imagine renting 10 houses. That's how you make cash flow. So the other strategy of OPM, I'm touching base more on the OPM because so many people have asked me about it. The another strategy of OPM, it is about partnership. Having a joint venture. If you don't have much capital, have a joint venture and join the deal together. Of course, you have to trust each other, and you have to do ethically, have a contract, and make sure you know that person. You don't have to be friends, but make sure both parties gonna be active. And you buy deals, you can buy a business, you can buy a house, you can buy a sales finance, a gas station, but you do joint deals, you join a joint partnership because you don't have enough money, but two people. That's why this community want to empower people to work together, but ethically. You join a venture, and then you go buy a deal, and then you share the profit. The third other OPM leverage is credit-based leverage. So many people don't know that you can easily get a business credit on 0% for first year. That business credit, it helps you. Let's say we talked about buying a house, using the business credit to renovate your house, or buying a business, using a business credit. Business credit, if you do well, you can easily get into 500,000, and then that's 0%. Yes, second year sometimes goes up, and even if you pay interest, if you look at deal that makes sense, you can still be able to flip using a business credit. Reason why I'm focusing on a business credit, it builds you, it shows you more that it helps you to build your business reputation. And then also, at the beginning, sometimes it's 0%, And also it does not affect your personal credit. So if your personal credit, you have not been able, you had some challenge in the past, and then you struggle to grow it, but you've been flipping and you've been building business credit, then the business credit, whatever you do, it does not show on your personal credit. That's something you're gonna have another day of touching base, but I wanted to make sure that people start also thinking about business credit rather than just personal credit. And then also personal credit, you focus on paying on the statement date, no the due date. Yes, pay something on due date, but pay off or pay a lot down on the statement date, because that's where the lender works. Okay, so we will touch base again, join our community. We will have one-on-one of all the subject as we go along, as we grow our community. The other one, it is institution debt, which is more bank. You can easily use all other lenders, SBA loans, especially those who are in the US knows well. In UK also there is a lot of options similar, even in Europe or even in Africa, MasterCard. So there is a lot of options. So use the institution to start your business because it's going to help you for the cash flow. So once you use the institution, but found a deal that makes sense, buy business, existing business. Or, yes, you can start your own business, but it has to make sense. Not just because you're passionate, but because it's going to bring you profit. I emphasize many times for those who knows me that just because the business you're passionate about something, it does not mean you have to start with that. Start with the business is going to bring you cash flow. It can even be cleaning. People don't know how commercial cleaning brings a lot of money. But then once you have a good cash flow, that cash flow, you inject that cash flow into your project, into your dream. You can use SBA loans because the rate is lower for business acquisitions, so that you're using other people's money. So by the way, in the few minutes, we will have a live phone call of some questions regarding, we may have some live call. We have live call and other questions regarding this, because I know the OPM is a strategy a lot of people don't know. That's why I'm insisting. And we want the normal average people to understand why the rich people keep getting richer and richer, and the poor, the middle class, the 99% keep getting lower and lower because they don't know that strategy. And this is the strategy to build generational wealth. But unfortunately, people charge thousands to teach this. But this knowledge should be available for everybody. Yes, if you want somebody to mentor you 24/7, you're going to have to pay something, but knowledge should be available. And then I think if we can all start helping each other using OPM, but ethically and in honestly way. That's why our community is here. If anybody goes in the inbox and start asking money people, please come to us, because we want to make sure that this is a safe community, that we do not want people to lose their money. We want to make sure that we monitor that, and then it's a win-win on both situations. So this is not just random, like, oh, there is OPM, there is money available. No, both sides, it has to be a win-win, because otherwise we can help more people if we are scamming people. So yes, so I think I touch a little bit more on those institution debt as well. And the people don't know, you can buy a franchise. The bank gives you more than 85% or 75% because it's a proven brand, rather than start your own business. SBA loan, by acquisition, gas station, you can do sales finance. So you get money quickly than starting your own startup business. Once you have those cash flow, take that cash flow, go do your dream, and if you want to be a hairdresser, if you want to do something, go do it because you have money and desperate. Okay, so if you have few money and you don't know where to invest, comment below. We try to help you what we can, how we can, as much as we can. So we're gonna touch on cash flow. The third title of today, we're gonna cash flow on cash flow foundation because the cash flow is a key. The whole point. Sorry, please. Bear with me. I had a cold, but I know people were excited about today, so I did not wanna stop. I did not wanna miss it, but I'm here. So please excuse me if you hear some coughs. I had a bad cold for the last few days. Cash flow. Cash flow is a king. Because you cannot, yes, you can use OPM, yes, you can do that, but if you don't have any cash flow, running a business or, thriving. So we're going to touch on cash flow, and then also because the cash flow, that's what helps you to have recurring income. So cash flow, also it helps you to pay expenses and debts. So people need to understand that the whole PM, it's basically, in a short way, it all serve each other. You can't start a business without a capital, which capital means OPM. You don't have to use OPM. It's just a strategy I'm trying to tell people because I've seen how it helped me. But you can use banks or you can use another thing, or if you have your savings, but everything starts from a capital. The second level of the second stage, it's cash flow, because if you invest your capital or somebody else's capital, which is OPM, you need to have a cash flow, because that cash flow, that's what's going to help you to keep thriving and also to keep the light on. So, and then it helps you for income, predictable, and stability. So it is important to understand the cash flow. Also, we will touch base. If you have any question about cash flow, comment below as well. We help you. I think I have tried to give a lot of knowledge on cash flow for those who knows me, how you can build cash flow. You can build cash flow through real estate, but be careful because some people also get stuck on cash buying houses without having too much cash flow, and then just depending on $500 cash flow every month. But you rather do not use all your savings just to get cash flow. But if you use other people's money to get cash flow, it helps you to build more cash flow. So I hope it makes sense. Buy business acquisition for cash flow. Anything will bring you cash flow, and it will give you stability. And it will give you a stability and then a way to get rid of debt, also to pay expenses and debts. I will also touch on cash flow forecast because that's more important, and that's what actually OPM, investor, lenders, private lenders would love to see. Cash flow forecast, it is the projection of cash flow. How much cash flow you're going to make? If I give you 100,000, if I giving you 50,000, how much cash flow you're going to make in the next 2 years? So we know that this is actually a legit business. That goes back to make sure you have a deal. Just because you love it or is your passion, it does not mean it is a deal. So make sure you have a deal. It also goes back to why I insist to the people who, especially the normal people, regular people, to start looking into either using real estate, using other people's money, or business acquisitions, because it shows cash flow, and then it's easy to get an investor or other people's money, or SBA loans, or in the UK as well, or even in Africa, the bank will give you money easily. because it's already have a cash flow. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe for future content, because we're going to be sharing. This is the year we want everybody to thrive and no one is left behind, especially everyday person. Please subscribe to our channel, and so we will be sharing more details which each topic we share today. We can't squeeze everything in today, but we will try to give you as much as we can. So yes, cash flow forecast is important because it shows that this is a deal. This is on real estate is kind of different. That's why I say it's comparable, unless you're buying for buy and hold, which is bar. But if it's buy, fix and flip, comparable is the key. But if it's buy and hold, cash flow, you have to do due diligence and look at the rental market or Airbnb or other way you can get cash flow. So before you present that deal to the OPM. When it comes to the business, it is a different approach. It's better to do 2 years cash flow forecast. We can help you with that as well. That's something I'm passionate about, because it shows you like in the 2 years cash flow forecast, you're going to be making money or you're just going to be bankrupt. If you're buying existing business, anybody before they giving you their money, they want to see that business is going to make money. So that's what we call cash flow forecast. You predict for the next 2 years. If you're buying, if it's a startup, but if you're buying, it's already showing you how much they have been making. So that gives you the confident that this is a business. And then again, remember, when I say buying a business, you think, oh my God, I have to have a lot of money. But no, you can do sellers finance. We have so many, we can give you tips. You can do SBA loans. And even in the UK, we can connect you, even in Europe, we can connect you with different banks to give you is the money, because you're buying existing businesses that shows that it's actually making profit. And they give you usually 75%. And you're pretty much making money without putting too much of your money in the business. I don't think commercial cleaning, office cleaning, laundromat, if you're getting a cash for $20,000 a month, where would you get that money if you didn't put that much money down? So that's why it's good to start thinking like the 1%, which they call business acquisitions. That's why you see a lot of, when you hear private equities, that's what they do. They buy businesses and then make money. That's what they do. But even individuals can do that. So that's what I wanted to touch on cash flow, because it's also giving you, it helps you to understand money coming in and the money going out, and the flexibility for the next 2 years. And I hope if you have any question about cash flow, please comment below again, and we help you as much as we can, or our team will be there to try to guide you. So let's touch about scaling using OPM. So the scaling using OPM, you have to focus on systems before the size. So we have to focus on the system before, systems is a key, and the cash flow supports scale. So that goes back that how every single things connect. OPM, money. Cash flow, it's how you're going to be making money, which is include cash flow forecast. But you cannot do that without having a system. So create a system which is also will help you to get to the point you have a passive income rather than being a slave of your business, which means it's a job. So, and then have the cash flow. The cash flow also helps you to scale, and it also risk compound with the scale. So manage your risk. Risk is important. Don't just take people's money to go buy expensive cars or doing things. Make sure that you have study, you take time to look your risks. Again, we're here to help. Any questions, please let us know. We're here to help. And also structure, because everything goes, it's stage. I know some people want to just get quick rich, but if you want to get quick rich, sometimes it's easy to you go up, but you go down that quick. That's why you hear so many people made money, and then in a second, they don't have the money. So it's good. There is a system, cash flow, manage the risk, and structure of how to expand. So I think we touch a little bit more. This was just an intro live to give you more about how to use OPM and scale and be able to thrive, because as we mentioned, the 2026, our goal is that no one left behind, and we have to rebuild, and we cannot rebuild if we're not a community. That's what I said. Join our community, but be ethical, be loyal, and be honest. This is one of our biggest core model in this community. If you're here to just take money and go, this is the wrong community, because you're not gonna be successful at it. I'm gonna touch base on the myth. I know people get about the OPM, because people say, oh my God, OPM, other people's money, I don't want to deal with it. I feel, they get scared, but that is the secret of the rich people. Because that's how we stay low. We always stay low thinking it's other people's money. I don't want to take the other people's money, and then I don't want to get into trouble. But other rich people, that's how they go. Their money goes around. All the rich people has used other people's money. Please go study and look at more cases. Come to me, tell me who is rich, never use other people's money. And when we say other people's money, we're not just talking the bank. So investors, it's other people's money. Venture capitalists, it's other people's money. We're just gonna have to start calling what it is. That's why I started this community, because I want people to call it what it is. So one of the myths is what people have is you must already be wealthy to access to external capital. No, really. The truth is credibility, solid ideas, strategic, and planning. Not personal wealth, and unlock many funding source. So credibility is the key. Do not just take money and run, and also build your credibility. Build your credibility, solid ideas, and strategic. So it's important to have that honest personality, credibility, which is credibility, and then have a solid idea. If you come to me, because I'm also an investor, I don't care if I know you or don't. I will invest in you because I see how hard you work and how credible you are, and also that the idea makes sense and is going to make me money. And then also you have a plan. So that's important. So but you don't have to have much money. No. This is the scarcity mentality, the 1% kind, because they don't share. A lot of I come from a financial institution. We don't share because we want you to think that we're sophisticated. But that's how we deal with it. Because otherwise you will pay us if we tell you that it's easy and simple. But if you can manage to have the credibility and the solid idea, people will give you money. And also be honest and loyal. So another example is the crowdfunding. There is a lot of success stories in micro-loan startups. Those are other myths people have. So myth 2, OPM is too risky. OPM is too risky. That's what people think, because you think, oh, it's other people's money. But you are going to the bank. So you are using other people's money as well at the bank. You just think it's a bank. And then the bank is taking also your money and giving trading or giving it to other people, or to making more interest, lending to other people. So that's why I say it sounds risky. That's why we're here to support you, to show you that it is doable. So borrowing is inevitable, leads to unimaginable debt. That's one of the myths. A lot of people get scared. But the truth is productivity, debt can generate cash flow and the asset growth when you have return on investment is calculated. So that's when you plan ahead. And if you you active, you have this goes back to the deal, business, project, because you can do also startups, anything. So that's why it is important to don't worry too much about thinking the risk. Focus on finding a deal that makes sense, and then also being active and ethical. So, and we're gonna touch now to the hours. The 10 hours. We gotta be quick with that because there's a lot of them. But join our community, because I'm gonna go one day. I'm gonna go one by one to help you understand on how those 10 hours that will help build wealth. The first hour is revenue. Revenue goes back to cash flow as a stability. Anything you do, you have to bring revenue in the business. And otherwise, it's not a business, it's a charity. Even charity brings revenue. So that's the first hour. We will dive into it big time in our community very soon, because I'm passionate about these hours. The second hour is resource and leverage, which is OPM and debt strategy. So resource, it goes, so if you noticed, we are trying to show you the roadmap. The roadmap is capital. After capital is cash flow. After cash flow is the generation wealth, because we're leading to how you build wealth. So revenue, the first start is revenue, which is cash flow and stability. The second hour is resource and leverage, which it can be OPM, it can be debt strategy, it can be funding, it can be crowdfunding. So all of those are the way you can build generation wealth. But we will dive into it again. The third hour is replication. You cannot scale if you don't replicate. You need to find a business that will help you to replicate. Let's say franchise. But come to us. We can help you. Those who knows I'm a franchise analyst. You need to find a franchise that are ethical, because there's also so many unethical franchises there. Let's say a barber shop cannot become a multimillionaire if it has one barber shop. So figure out how you start a barber shop. You open a hairdresser, and you open another barber shop, and you open another hairdresser. I'm just trying to give you an example. You have to figure out how you scale, because that's how you build the generation wealth. Because once you have more, then you're scaling without trading time, because you have that system that is actually working for you. That's what they talk about, money working for you. We have also return on investment, capital efficiency. There is revenue, resource, replication, return. You have to have a return in your business, otherwise you're not running a business. If you 1 year you realize that there's no return, go find an accountant, go find a financial analyst, come to us or to anyone. We need to figure out why not, because otherwise you're going to keep sinking. The fourth R is risk adjusting, scaling. You have to study risk. You have to do your due diligence. You have to figure out how to scale. and build a portfolio thinking. Because if you do not scale, then you're not thriving. So again, like I said, we'll go into deep, and then I will post soon. We have a video we post soon all about this in our community. So make sure you join our community. So especially with the 10 hours, I have a video that I went into deep details and with the wealth behavior that will help you to achieve those 10 hours. So we're gonna jump into the 6 hours. The fifth hours, which is reinvestment, compounding discipline. Because every dollar you make, if you want to be wealthy, you have to figure out how you're compounding it, how you're reinvesting it. So we also dive into it. Reinvestment, compounding. So buy a business, it goes back to what I say, barber shop cannot be a barber shop if they don't take the money to reinvest in another barber shop. Anything, or membership, coaching. So you have to figure out how you reinvest. You can reinvest, also diversify into different business. You hit the jackpot, you're a coach, then think about getting into real estate. So you have to figure out how you're reinvesting into different other businesses, even if it's your business, but you have to figure out how you keep compounding the money. So which is compounding interest or compounding discipline. The 7R is residual income, which means figuring out how you can build residual income regularly. So residual income regularly, so that helps you as well, which is kind of like passive income. Because I know we talk a lot of passive income, and there's a lot of guru out there. There's a lot of gurus. I don't want to get into it, but it is possible. You can build residual income through real estate. You can build residual income through business acquisition, through franchising, or through barbershop. You just have to figure out how you build residual income. Because if you don't have residual income, then you cannot build wealth. The AR, because we're running off time, but we want to make sure that I will squeeze in everything. But again, go into our community. I will go through dive deep on each hours. I took so much time on OPM because that's a thing I need people to understand, and then I need people to start practicing it, because we cannot thrive if we keep thinking like older generation. As we know, our parents spend years studying and they were saving, but by the time they know, they are too old to enjoy their money. But I'm trying to teach our generation to start to think like how the rich people think and how the 1% people think. Leverage OPM, but do not be greedy. And then, but make sure it works for you and it works for them. So there is reserves, liquidity, insurance. So that's another R to think about. So we'll again dive into it. There is rewire. Financial identity. You have to rewire. Everything you do, you cannot achieve it if you don't change your mind as a mindset in the borders. You have to rewire your mind and especially have a financial identity. You have to figure out, how am I going to approach an investor? How am I going to approach OPM? How am I going to approach business acquisitions? Because you will be amazed. So many businesses is here in any country. I've been to Africa, America, Dubai, all the countries, so many, I grew up in the UK and the US, but a lot of people think this is for just the West, UK and the US. But to be honest, if you go, I recently went to Africa and Dubai, there's so many businesses there you can take over without putting too much money, and still make a good income, but you have to rewire your mindsets and the approach. The 10R is relationship and the social capital. You need to start sitting in the rooms where you can meet those people, and you have to have the relationships and build the relationships so people can see that you ethical, and people can see that you have the morals to actually achieve it. Once you people notice that, trust me, people will be knocking on your doors to help you build wealth. It's just a matter of how you rewire and build the relationship. So we gonna go to some practical exercise. So that's what we're gonna talk a little bit about. We're gonna touch quickly. So list the 2 OPM myths you believed, and so if we have any questions, we can take also some questions. And also there's another practical exercise called write how the truth presented change your approach to funding. So that's one of the another exercise. Or share your reflection of what peer or mentors. Let's recap before we go live phone call. So we're gonna try to recap again how we go live phone call. But in the meantime, please feel free to send some questions in chat. So to recap, today was pretty much about, it's an intro. This was the first live, as you can tell, and it is also my first try. So I hope it made sense, and then I hope at least you're able to learn something. But I'm gonna recap. The recap is OPM, which is other people's money, cash flow and cash flow forecast, which helps you to grow the cash to pay the debt. The forecast helps you to give security to the OPM, to the lender or to the private lender, and using other people's money, because that shows that you plan ahead. And the other is the 10 hours, which is, I really want you to, if you can, there's no obligation. If this is not for you, join our community, and the 10 hours we will dive into deeply, because they are very important to achieve the OPM strategy. So I think that was the recap, and we have some questions. If we have some questions, our team can let me know, and we can answer some questions below. By the way, I know we have a lot of questions in chat, but we are working on responding. I know my team are working on responding, and we're trying to be respectful for your time because it's a weekend. And next time we're gonna try to arrange when is easy for everybody. So, but we definitely gonna make sure we answer every questions in our chat. But I know we have some calls as well, so some live calls. So I thought those would be easier to respond. So I know my team just sent me a sign that we have live calls, and so yeah, please go ahead. Hi, are you there? Thank you for the, hi, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay, hi. May we know your name? Can you tell us a little bit about you and your question, please, and where you're from?
So, my name is Steve. I'm from Salt Lake City, and I'm just starting out in this whole adventure. This is technically the first session that I've joined. My question is, I don't have a lot of money to start with right now, and I'm trying to figure out what can I do? Like, what's the best move that I can make?
Okay. Thank you for your question. Thank you, Steve. And thank you. It's good to have that. To know, I can see we have Salt Lake City, Texas. My God, even Dubai, Yes, that's one of the common questions we've been getting. That's why actually we started the community, because we know money is a challenge, and especially in this current economy. So that's why our community is about helping each other and giving people tools. Yes, there is information out there, but people need money. You cannot thrive without money. So going back to your question, I think I'm going to put you on I hope people can hear you properly. But I'm going to put you, I'm going to give you a few tips I think may help. By the way, do not, this is for education purpose only. So we're not here as a financial advice, we're here as education purpose. So if it makes sense for you, you can follow. So I think one of the things, if you don't have a lot of money, is to start leveraging OPM. You're in the right place. To start figuring out how can I have somebody who can do a joint venture to build up on the capital to start. And then it doesn't have to be a lot of money. You can have a joint venture of 5,000, 1,000, 1,000, and then you go to the bigger OPM, which is the fund or the investors. Again, we're here to help you and guide you through. And so once you do the deal together, and if you do the deal together, whatever profit you make, you share the profit. So you start building your capital that way. There is also other different ways, such as finance. As mentioned in the previous, which is I'm going to emphasize in this community, you can buy a lot of businesses on sale as a finance. It's not very common. People don't tell you, but I have bought personally 3 businesses on sale of finance, and then I never put any penny. People just want to make sure that you're legit and you're ethical and you're willing to pay back. So you can find, if you start to do the research, you can find businesses that are on sale as finance and approach them and then show them what you're going to do, how you're going to hustle for them. That's why I said this is not a community of getting a quick rich, but you can get rich, wealthy, because that's the whole point here. But it's not about getting quick rich scheme. You have to put some hustle in. So if you find that there is a lot like a laundromat, I think now is getting common, gas station. People are tired, they don't want to work there anymore, their kids are not interested, approach them. Do the numbers well. If you need, we can help you. And if you show them that you can give them a good return, they will. So you can do the GV using OPM, set as finance, or you can create a community. Community also is a way to make money by using to grow, create your own community to help you. So I hope that answers your questions. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to send them. Our team will help you to respond more.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, it seems like there's a second call coming in. Hi, are you there? Can you tell us your name as well?
Hi, my name is Tony.
Would you mind to speak up a little bit?
Hi, my name is Tony.
Tony, okay. Hi, Tony, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
How are you doing? How is your day?
Good.
Good. Okay, let us, what's up? What is your question?
So I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and I have $62,000 currently saved up. Currently, my plan is to either buy like a rental property or possibly acquire part of a small business that's already generating some income. How would you decide between these two? And like, what numbers should I check before committing to either one of these options?
Okay. Oh, that's a good saving. I think that's a good saving. It's very important that you 62. You say 62,000?
Yes, $62,000. I have it in cash.
Okay. That's a good saving. That's a good saving actually for most. You're kind of ahead of people. So good job. You should be proud of you. But you gotta be careful how you approach it because you can invest and lose it all, or you can also double it. So it depends on how you approach it. Depends. What is it? What are you passionate? Business or real estate?
You know, I was thinking more real estate, but I really don't know because it seems like
So, quick question before, how did that come? I didn't press. Okay. So quick question. What are you leaning to? What is your passion? Is it real estate or business?
you know, I've always really wanted to kind of do real estate and kind of like owning part of like the American dream and stuff like that. But you know, I'm just kind of uncertain at this point. But I'm leaning towards that.
But are you getting into real estate because you want to own a house, or you're getting into real estate because you want to make a passive incomes?
No, I just want to build my wealth up, and that's the ultimate goal is to continue building.
Can you speak up a little bit, please?
My goal is to build wealth.
Okay. So here's my advice, but again, this is what works for me. Yes, I'm a financial analyst and specialist, but this is education purpose. I think because you have a good savings, there is a two-way you can approach it. If it's to build wealth, because some people get into real estate just because they want to own something. Personally, I won't put that 62 in one house because that 62 is going to take you a while to save that 62 back if you put in one house in cash, with cash flow. So there is a two option. You use other people's money by flipping to build capital, or find a really good deal. We give you the bar method, the buy, rehab, and rent. But I think flipping, it will be quicker for you. But do not use a loan. Find a house like 300, so you can only use like at least 10% down, and use other people's money because, like I mentioned, there is a funds or there is a private lenders willing to give you money out there to buy and fix. So, but you only put 10% in the deal. So, but you still have a cushions, because I always tell people, as much as you guys make money, but cash is a king. Do not use all your money because things can go sideways. It may be your first deal, so it may take you a while to sell. There is a lot of money in real estate. I've given an example, which I will give next time and show the numbers of one of the property I bought it for 430, and then appraised 890 just in a few months. So if you hit a deal like that, you'll be set, because in the hour we put it for 40K. So, but it's not always one same thing. So take a reader, approach it that way, start with one deal because it's good, and then put that money in one deal to flip that 30K. So that means it's gonna give you 90K. If you do that deal, you do more deal, and then you even use the remaining money. Or you can split it into two, start a business, buy a business using SBA loan. You just put 10% and you use it, then you get cash flow coming in, because then you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you have the cash flow coming from business and cash flow coming from the property, or you building capital from the property. So by flipping. So the more you do it, by the time you know, then you double, triple your money. So I would advise you to use all your 62 because that's a good cushion. into one deal. Another thing I would advise is to just go start paying a crazy mentorship. Yes, have a guidance is important. Have a guidance. If you're willing to pay somebody to guide you through, depends on your financial education. You may be good, but if you're not good, have a guidance, but don't go into crazy mentorship. Just have somebody to mentor you step by step, and with reasonable amount. Otherwise, because it is sad. I see a lot of people come to me that have spent all their life saving that kind of money or saving 100,000, and they go into mentorship, and then now they're back to zero. So I want to make sure that you look after. So I will also ask our team to make sure that they keep an eye, because you the kind of the people we want to see you succeed, and then also you can go help other people, because this community again is about thriving together, helping each other, and giving back. So we hope if we can help you, you can also go help other people giving back.
Okay, so it sounds like you're telling me that I should probably flip the house until I get that 62 to grow to something more. What would you recommend it grows to before I switch?
You mind just speaking up? I'm still struggling. If we can speak up again, please.
No, so it sounds like you're saying that I should be doing flipping as the primary strategy until I grow the 62,000 to something more substantial. What would you recommend that I go from, say, flipping to more doing the BRRRR method, as far as how much that should grow to?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
So you're saying that I should be flipping the 62,000 because it's not enough capital. So at what point should I go from flipping to doing like the BRRRR method to where I can? How much money do I need, basically?
That's a good question. So yes, as I said, do not throw your money, please. That for me, that's personal. If you wanna put all your money, you can do it. It's a free spirit. We live in a free world, but I personally, yes, start with small amount, flip 2 or 3 properties until you can. I always advise people, because the cash is a king. Cash is a king, no matter how people tell you. There is a lot of people, they have house rich, but cash poor. That's especially our parents' generations. But we trying to help people start living, because life is too short, but also building smart. So try to flip 1 or 2, 3 property. Once you have like 100K, then you can start getting into BRRRR method, because at that time, you have a cushions. But if you find one deal that the equity is higher, you can buy it, flip it, fix it, and refinance and get your money back quickly. If you find a deal that you can do the BRRRR method quickly and get your money back, that's also you can do it. But I always say to me, first have some cushions. Do not just put all your eggs in one basket. That's why I say flip. Yeah, because sometimes, yes, and then also you do not have to flip in Texas. Look at different states where, especially I advise people like Arizona, because that's where I am. I know it's growing market, and also because we have a lot of people from California who comes, so it's easy to do the BRRRR method because the property goes higher. After the renovation. You can also do that in a different country, by the way. So this is not just Dubai or UK. So the same things goes to comparable, but put your money in a different basket. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
You too. You're welcome. Here, another question coming in, or? Okay, we have a third question coming in. Hi, can you tell us your name quickly as well, because the time is running. So, can you tell us?
Hey, my name is Jamal. I'm from Birmingham in UK. So I just have few savings in my bank account, and I was wondering which I want to just build wealth, but I don't know where to start from. So I was wondering what can I do for now?
Okay. I think. Oh, may I know how much savings?
I mean, it's few. It's
Okay. Do you have a full-time job?
yes, I have.
Okay, and is a decent job,
I barely make it by. I can live by.
but it is a job that are secure.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
Okay. So he's the as somebody who actually lived in the UK for a while. He's the advisor. Always advise people. First of all, do not, because in the UK it's a different approach. So do not get discouraged. From the savings, start to build up from the savings. You can do side jobs. You can do Uber. You can do other side jobs to build up. But because you have a security job as well, start looking into starting maybe a franchise. Is it that something you can do, like a franchising, especially like a commercial cleaning franchise? People don't know that they make a lot of money, and the bank, because it's a guarantor, you get buildings like Asda, buildings like Tesco office, so you can easily, and the bank have trust into those if you have a good cash flow forecast. So that's something you can also, is it that something you can do?
Yeah. If I can get time to do it though, because I have a 9 to 5 job, so
Yeah, that's one thing you have to also figure out, because you have to choose your priority. The good things of cleaning job, commercial cleaning, it's evening. So that's why another good thing, it's evening, and a lot of people don't know that you can easily get money like 75% from the bank, lending, to start, especially like if there's a bank like HSBC, Santana, they helps. But in many times when you do that, build up also on you side hustle jobs. There's a lot of side hustle jobs you can build up, or you can also buy another existing businesses using sales finance. In the UK, it exists. You can go online, look sales finance. So yeah, I think first of all, you gotta hustle. Sometimes I tell people you need to go after what you want, but you have a job and it's a secure job. So use that job leverage that job to get at least a good OPM from either bank or private lender, mainly bank in the UK, for either franchise, even if you don't like cleaning, but it's gonna pay you well. Or look for business for sale and then go pitch and give them the return. But use your job and then also build up on your savings doing side jobs. So I hope that helps. Okay, we're gonna take our last question because we're running out of time, and because this was the last minute live, as we got a lot of requests, people interested, but we're gonna make it quick. The rest of the questions we make sure we answer in the chat, and also we'll be having live often. So, but this is gonna be our last live question. So let's dive in. Please go ahead. I thought I'd ask you, go ahead. Okay, yeah, the call is coming. Let's go ahead.
Hey, Josel.
Hi. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Collins. I am from Dubai, and I did have some few savings from my past investments, and I was wondering I do like real estate, and I do know you have been both in Dubai and the American market. And we do hear a lot of things here in Dubai. Sometimes takes a while, but I was wondering, what do you recommend with $100,000? What can I do? Where can I invest? What should I start with?
Oh, good question. Okay, interesting. That's a good question. So you say you have 100,000?
Yes.
Oh, that's such a good investment, a good start. And you, what are you leaning more to, Dubai or US?
I mean, I can fly anywhere, so anywhere as long as I get my money back.
What is more is get a quick, to get like more return quickly, or is it more build equity in properties and then live a high life? So it is, because both countries, there is a good pros and cons in anything.
Yeah.
So what is mainly your goal?
I think quick return will be better. Get my money back, maybe invest in other things.
So here's what, from my experience from Dubai, Dubai is a good investment for long-term return, because they do a lot of off-plan. So and then also you don't have to put too much money in advance. So you pay like, I think in installment. You pay in installment actually. So off plan, and then start to get built in 1 year or year and a half, and the property is done. There is some good brand. I've been a part of it, like a Hilton. It's a good one. In the end, in 2 years you're gonna start making new money. So that's the part of Dubai, is off plan. They call off plan. But
Yeah.
the US market, it is a quick. It's America, it's about money. It's a capitalist country. It's about making money quickly. So this also goes back to something I want to touch base, that anybody, this is things people don't know. You don't have to be American. You don't have to own a visa. You don't have to even be in the country to own a house in America or to own a business. So that's why they favorize business, because it's a capitalist country. So you can, the same amount of money you have, you can spread into like a 3 or 4 property using other people's money, and then you get a better, quicker return in terms of flipping, or in terms of, you can also do, but then start applying the bar method. So it is, at the end of the day, I think you have to sit down. I don't know do you have a family?
Yeah.
So because these are kind of things, once you have a good savings, these are kind of things you see with the family. You see, do we have, what do you prefer, and then what is most applicable for you? If I'm honest with you, Dubai, you live a good life. You live a high life, and the money from US to Dubai, you can make a lot through that. So personally, I will quickly flip my money in the US and then bring it to Dubai, because that will give you more. But also, quality life, I think Dubai, you have a good quality life. But you have to wait because it's off plan. So the off plan, you don't get your return that quickly. Yes, the house is increasing the value, but it's not a quick return in the 1 year. So, and then the houses are very good, very nice. So you have to choose either, do I want to double my money quickly, or do I want to have an amazing life but wait a little bit? Even in America, you can have amazing life once you flipped more properties, but in America it's more about growing your money, and over there is about building equity in the long term. So I hope that answered your questions. Did I?
Yeah. I think I need to sit down and, I think America makes sense. I think I can get good return. Also, I don't want to have gray hair when I get my returns because of,
advice policy.
No, I don't want to make it sound like the old generation type of gray example. In Dubai, it's just like 1 year or 2 years, the off plans. So it's still good investments, but it still depends of if you want to get your return your quick return in 1 year. But you won't have a gray hair. So I don't want to scare you off. You will have maybe most of the projects, like there's a Hilton project, I know, it starts now, but it will end in 2027. So it's like a year and a half usually, or 1 year, but because it's a brand, it's a good brand, you know that property is going to be rented or short term. You can also do apartments. I don't do mainly apartments personally much because you have to know the developer, but you can make a good return eventually in the long run. So it all depends. Sit down with your family. Sounds like you have a family. You can also do that quickly in the US and take that money, go use it in Dubai for a long run. So it all depends on you. Like I say, this is about advice, but at the end of the day, it's your decisions. Because we're running out of time, so we're gonna close. Thank you so much. I hope the first live was informative. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us. We're here to try to make a change, and we're here to thrive together. So hopefully, whatever other questions you have, we'll make sure we respond in the chats or emails. You can respond in our community because it's hard to keep up with all the other different social media. But join also our Instagram. We'll be sharing a lot of knowledge. But my mission in 2026, it is to educate people on how to leverage anything out there, and then using my knowledge how OPM helped, and also to thrive together, but ethically and loyal and also honest. So please feel free to keep in touch. And also this community, before I go, is about bringing everybody together and work together. We don't want to keep you too long because today we want you to go back, enjoy time with your family. Thank you for being with us.